Hey folks, how you all doing? Lloyd here, or Mr. Hats as I'm known as in the VC. Thought I'd jump on a tag today. It's freezing cold here where I am. It's going to drop down to 0 degrees Celsius tonight, 32 Fahrenheit. So I'm sure there's going to be some frost on the windscreen of the car in the morning. Days are around 14 degrees Celsius. You can check out what the Fahrenheit is yourself. I'm not going to do that all for you. If you want to know what it's like here in the middle of winter, or the start of winter. June's the first month of winter. But anyway, I'm going to jump on this summer tag 2026, try to warm up. This was started by Peter at Music is a Journey. If you've never been to Peter's channel, head over there. Great guy, very entertaining guy to say the least, and cool channel. So head over there. I'll leave a link below for that. Anyway, on this thread, he's got a special guest. Bobby Gaylor. Never heard of Bobby before. He used to have a channel. Apparently, I've never come across it, but from what I've seen in their hour-long video, he's a very entertaining guy. He has a great voice for YouTube, radio, whatever. Very good, very entertaining. Just reminded me a bit of Vinyl Richie as I was listening to him and watching him. He's got that sort of vibe about him. Absolutely positive, absolutely exciting, full of batteries, full of beans, etc. So I thought I'd jump on this tag. There's 15 prompts. A couple of the prompts have more than one record that needs showing. I tried to put a bit of a spin on this and make it an all Australian concept, whereas I will show all Australian artists, except for the one question where we are required to show an artist from a country, which will come up shortly. So let's get on with it. First up, first prompt, show an album with a sun on the cover. This was the first one I thought of. I couldn't find anything else. Mark Morris has already done this one, but this has the sun on it. Just up here in this corner, that's shining through the trees. Ghosteen, Nick Cave, and the Bad Seeds. Number 2, summer has 3 months, so show an album by a trio. I thought I'd go with Silverchair, Australian. They started off grungy. I think these guys were only like 15, 14, 15 when they released their first album in the late 1990s there, when grunge was happening. So yeah, they released about 5 albums, I think, before they eventually capitulated. So Silverchair for the trio. Number 3, there are 4 zodiac signs that cover the northern hemisphere summer: Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So show an album that represents at least one of those signs. I think if I'd have hadn't just focused on Australian artists, I certainly could have done this from my collection somewhere. But you are limited when you sort of focus on one sort of conceptual idea. But I did sort of roundabout do it. Gemini is the sign of the twins. So I decided to show the Veronicas, electronic pop duo from here in Australia, and both girls there on the back cover, they are identical twins. So I've used that to cover that one for Gemini. Number 4, summer is associated with alcohol, so show a song related to alcohol. Well, this was no brainer to me because this Australian artist has written and or sung no end of songs about alcohol through his 60+ year career till he died. It's Slim Dusty, Australian country singer. He's real country. He's in the ilk of Hank Williams and those sort of guys from back in the old days. And he's got 2 songs on this compilation album. He has Pub With No Beer. That actually was a #1 hit, I believe, in the UK even. And that was let's say 1958. I could be wrong, but it's a very late 50s in my opinion. And he followed that up in the 1980s with another #1 hit here in Australia called Duncan. And that song's about loves to have a beer with Duncan, loves to have a beer with Dunk, we drink in moderation, da 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 da. And he rattles off all these names of friends and drinking at the bar with them, basically. So there's two beer songs from Australian country singer Slim Dusty. If Doug from the Auditory Vinyl is watching this video, check out some Slim Dusty, mate. You'll absolutely love him. He is traditional country. And anyone else that likes traditional country. Number 5, summer is tornado season. And in 1925, a tri-state tornado touched down for 219 miles. Show the 219th album in your collection. I couldn't exactly do the 219th because I wanted this to be all Australian. So the nearest album I got to 219 was this one, the latest Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds album, Wild God. Wasn't far off 219, by the way. July is National Ice Cream Month. Show a song with cold in the title. Well, I, for the life of me, could not find one Australian song with the word cold in the title. There's a band here in Australia, Cold Chisel, blues rock bar rock band from the late 70s, 80s. They've sort of carried on and off through the decades as well. But I didn't want to show that. So I took liberties again, and I'm showing Australasian artist Jenny Morris with her album Shiver, as opposed to a song. And that actually is a... There you are, the last song on the album down there, Shiver. So... yeah, hope that suffices. Come on, I'm sticking to one bloody sort of concept here. I probably shouldn't have. I could have answered every song perfectly, every question. Prompt number 7, Flag Day is June the 14th in the US of A. Show an album which features a flag on the cover. It didn't say I had to specifically show the US flag. Just because it's Flag Day in the US on that particular day. And I really struggled to find an Australian flag on an Australian artist's album. I would have thought Slim Dusty would have had one somewhere along the line. There's a novelty boardy singer called Kevin Bloody Wilson. He's got a couple of flags on one of his album covers, but I could not for the life of me find that album. I'm not even sure if I have it, so I couldn't show that. So I had to go back to Slim Dusty again, and just there is the Australian flag. You can see it right there. So that's the answer for that one. Okay, question or prompt number 8. July the 1st is Canada Day. So show a Canadian artist. This is the one where I couldn't show an Australian artist. I tried to find a Canadian artist that is dual citizen with Australia, but I gave up. I just couldn't find it. Anyway, I thought I'd show a Canadian artist that no one else is going to show. Normally I would show the obvious ones, your Neil Youngs, your Leonard Cohens, etc. Those classic guys. But I thought I would show Justin Bieber with his album Changes. I like Justin Bieber. Lynn's a big fan of Justin Bieber. I think he's okay. He's not too bad. So Justin Bieber's the answer for that one. Prompt number 9, Dog Days of Summer starts the 3rd of July. Show a dog album in your collection, i.e. one you dislike, where it's not just the album, it's the artist in general, and that is Midnight Oil. To me, all their stuff is good for frisbees basically, and using as target practice. Um, Used to like them back in the day, but they just haven't stood the test of time well for me. Ben Rankins would totally disagree with me with that one and say, what would you know? You're a Leo Sayer fan. So there you go, Ben. That one's for you, mate. Number 10, show a band with horns. I had a couple of albums picked out, and then I thought about this one. It's only a year old. I think this was last year. Was it 2000? Yeah, 2025. This is by an Australian band called Surprise Chef. They're an instrumental band. Normally, I don't like instrumental music, but their stuff is soul funk based, and yeah, there's horns on this album, having a funky vibe to it. But yeah, really good album. As I said, I don't like instrumental albums much at all. I don't mind instrumental tracks, but not whole albums. But when I listened to this on Spotify um, last year, I was so taken back with it that obviously I went and purchased the LP. So there you go. Number 11, July 27th is Take Your House Plant for a Walk Day. So show an album with some sort of plant, tree, bush, flora on the cover. I didn't want to show another Slim Dusty album because that would be a hell of a lot of Slim Dusty in this thread. So I thought I would go for Casey Chambers, another country singer from Australia, singer-songwriter, folky, country, bluegrass gal. This album comes from 2024. It's her latest release, and as you can see on there, there's trees in the background there. So yeah, another one. If you're into country music, singer-songwriter type stuff, go and seek out Casey Chambers. Barricades and Brick Walls and The Captain are her two probably most revered albums. Check those two out and then move forward from there. Wreck and Ruin's another good one. It's a lot of bluegrass stuff on there. But yeah, Casey Chambers in general, check her out. Number 12. Movie blockbusters are generally released in summer. Show a soundtrack you love. So I've picked this one. This was released in 1986. Who Made Who by AC/DC. So this is pretty much a compilation. It's got 9 tracks on it. Don't know if you can see all those or not. It was put together. AC/DC have never released a compilation, so-called greatest hits album, but this has Who Made Who, You Shook Me All Night Long, DT, Sink the Pink, Ride On, Hell's Bells, Shake Your Foundations, Chase the Ace, and For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. So it was the soundtrack to a movie called Maximum Overdrive, which was a Stephen King, as in the horror guy. He had a movie and he wanted to use AC/DC songs through the soundtrack, and they obviously let him do it. And I think the condition was they would release it as an album. So technically it's a compilation, technically it's not, but it is a soundtrack to a movie nonetheless. Number 13. Number 13. Cat nights begin on August the 17th. It's a legend that says a witch can turn herself into a cat on and off for 8 days. If she does it on the 9th day, she doesn't get to turn back to a witch. She stays as a cat. I think that's where the whole 9 lives things come from, but I could be wrong, but it makes sense. So show 2 albums, one that depicts a witch and one that depicts a cat. Sorry, but I've got no Australian artist albums that depict a witch, unless of course you want to consider Kylie Minogue a witch, which Morton Asted is now having a massive coronary from me saying that about the love of his life, Kylie Minogue. So no witch, but this album by Mental as Anything called Cats and Dogs, and as you can see, there's a cat there. This is a great album. Forget that Live It Up crap that was released in 1985, 86. This is Mental as Anything at their best. It's sort of country-esque, country pop crossover type stuff, and also new wave. Absolutely fabulous album. If you like sort of new wave with a bit of, as I said, country pop crossover type stuff, this is an absolute classic album. Go check them out. Number 14, summer is road trip season. So what's a good song for a road trip? Well, I was going to pick up AC/DC again, but I've already shown them here. Whenever we go on a road trip, we always take The Razor's Edge by AC/DC. We always take Back in Black by AC/DC. We always take Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Usually a Creedence Clearwater Revival, some sort of compilation by them. And we usually take a Leo Sayer compilation. Obviously, you can't play a vinyl record in a car. But we have a three CD compilation that we do take with us, and that's quite enjoyable. His 70s stuff is really good because that's more rocky and sort of disco-y, danceable, so that does play well on road trips, and you can sing along to all of it. So I'm just going to say Leo Sayer in general for that. In fact, Lee and I are going away in about 3 weeks' time, traveling about, I don't know, down to Esperance. So it's about a 9-hour drive, 10 or 11 with stops every now and then. So it's basically a full day's drive. And we'll be taking the CDs, as I mentioned, plus a couple of others, maybe a couple of new ones that I've bought, just to listen to them. So, yeah, off track, off kilter. Let's get back onto it. The last prompt. Number 15, summer means heat. Don't we know it? Show 4 artists or bands that spell HEAT with their names. Summer is really hot where we are. We rarely drop below 30 degrees Celsius, which is the early 90s in Fahrenheit, roughly, let's say 92 for argument's sake. Between late November and the end of March, it rarely drops below that. We quite often get multiple days over 40 degrees Celsius, so you're looking at 104 Fahrenheit basically. You know, we could get 5 or 6 days in a row sometimes. A lot of times we don't get night temperatures below 20 degrees Celsius, so I don't know what that is. Check it out yourself. I think that's roughly 75, 76 at night time. We get the odd summer storm, so yeah, we know all about what fucking heat is here where we are. It's horrible. You just can't keep cool. Anyway, I digress again. Let's get back onto the question. Show 4 artist bands that spell out HEAT. So I've got Hoodoo Gurus, H, one of the great alt rock bands to ever come out of Australia. Psychedelic rock as well on a lot of their stuff. So yeah, check them out. Get a compilation. You couldn't go wrong with the compilation. Their stuff is so cool. So H is Hoodoo Gurus. E, the Executives, pop band from the 1960s, very similar to the Easy Beats. The rest of the world will know them, the Easy Beats, for that song Friday on My Mind. These guys are similar to that. But yeah, the Executives. A, we're going to go to one of Australia's greatest bands from the late 1970s and 1980s, Australian Crawl. I guess I could have used this for the first question as well, with the sun, the sunset going behind the clouds there. But yeah, another great band, Australian Crawl. And finally, for T in the heat, we're going to go to Tones and I with her album Madhouse. You may remember her around the world with her annoyingly catchy song Dance Monkey. Thankfully, that is not on this album, but this debut album is really, really good. Nothing like Dance Monkey. It's solid pop. There's a bit of gospel on here, soul music, but mainly pop. It's just a really, really good album. Anyway, that was a 20-minute video. I hate making long videos, guys. Peter loves making them. Anyway, Peter and Bobby, I did my best, mate. There's a couple of little ones that I had to take liberties with, but anyway, it was a great thread. I might come up with a winters one soon, just to balance what it is in the southern hemisphere. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you stayed this long, head over to Peter's channel. I'll leave a link below for his video. And yeah, till next time, guys, stay safe, take care. All for now. Catch you around, and bye, folks.